Hey everybody, hi, it's Coach Gary. Welcome to our webinar. We're going to be starting here very, very shortly. We're waiting for people to sign in, and we got a pretty good audience today, so kind of excited about sharing with you guys how we're going to do comparable market analysis as a wholesaler, also as a advanced bird dog. So that's going to be coming up, but go ahead and sign in and tell us, give us your name and where you're from. In addition to that, if you do miss this webinar, it will be replay will be mailed to you, so you're not going to miss anything there. And during the course of the webinar, just feel free. Okay, just feel free. It will be mailed to you, so you're not going to miss anything there. And during the course of the webinar, just feel free. Let me turn that off. I'm watching it on my iPhone as well. So just feel free to ask any questions that you want, and we definitely will. Obviously answer those questions, as we get going, in the webinar. We had over 47 people register for this. Before I get going, one of the things that I want to share with you that's real important is that whenever you get into real estate, if you're brand new to real estate, we want to make it easy for you. And what we do is we put you through what we call steps of progression. And what I mean by that is we start you out not just bird dogging. The normal bird dogging is you find a distressed property or, distressed owner that owns a property. And then we go ahead and they normally pay you like $500 to $1,000. Well, we don't do that. My partners and I, Frank and Denise, created a thing called advanced bird dogging. And advanced bird dogging means we're going to walk you through what it takes to analyze the properties correctly. And we pay you $5,000 or even more if you're going to manage the project. So we upgrade the $500 bird dogging, give us a lot of addresses, to actually doing what we call advanced bird dogging, which means you're going to make more money. So we want to make sure that you guys get paid for what you're worth by putting the time into this. And that's why I'm going to teach you today how to analyze these properties. Now, I do have Frank Verney is on the webinar with me along with Denise, and these guys are experienced full-time investors. Frank's done over 200 short sales. So when it comes to probate and short sales with Frank and Denise, why, you got a world of knowledge here, and they'll be answering questions. So please make it interactive and show us the questions that you have as we get going in this. On the chat, if you notice it, you can see in the chat here, just go ahead and write in anything you want, your name, where you're from, any information that you want to, or any questions that you want to ask, and we'll be sure to answer them as we go through the course, of the webinar. Again, thank you for joining, and we're going to go ahead and launch this right now. Okay. Just make sure that everybody can hear me. I'm pretty sure that you can, but just if somebody type in there that the audio and the video is okay. By the way, you can run these on your smartphones. You can run them on your iPad. So it's very universal. Webinar Jam is a very powerful webinar system. I've used it for years. So yeah, just let me know if you can hear me. Okay. All right. And I'll see that in the chat box. It looks like we can get some people responding. Frank says, you can hear me. Okay. Now I know you're here. All right. So let's get started here. We're going to do a screen share. We're going to go in and out of screen share, but I'm going to start with kind of a summary to really let you guys know, what the outline is that we're going to cover. And we're going to do live on screen as well. All the people are, yes, everybody can hear me. Wonderful. All right, here we go. We're going to start out with your first live screen here. And we're going to do what we call comparable market analysis for wholesalers. So let's go ahead and get that up here. Okay, there will be a little bit of delay, so be patient. We'll cover what we're going to cover with you today. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm sure you can see my screen. Now, we want you to know that we want Google to be your best friend here. I'm going to make this a little larger so you can see it if you're on your iPhone, so you can see this pretty much here. We want Google to be your best friend. We live in an age where it's incredible that you can get answers to almost anything and everything. And hold on just a minute. I got to close my door because I'm hearing the gardener and the dog and everybody. One of the advantages of doing a home-based business is that I can, like I do, is that I can work from home in my pajamas, but I get the gardener and the dog here. All right, here you go. So let's look at what we expect from our people that want to make the upper incomes of $5,000. What are we going to look for? Now, you just need to Google this, okay, and I've outlined it for you. So the first thing you want to Google is housing and development trends in the area that you're looking for. Now, today we're going to be looking at an area in Atlanta, Georgia, as we walk through these steps. But just remember, you Google the area you're looking for. The economies are different in the United States. If you go to Palm Desert as an example, I've been looking at properties there. You're going to find that that's a cold market. Well, what does that mean, cold? It simply means that it's a buyer's market, not a seller's market. If it's a seller's market, it becomes a warm or hot market. Warm is kind of mixed there. Okay, so just be aware of the type of market you're in. Very important, because as you start for the rehabber, when we look at these projects, remember, I want to put you in a position of being a good wholesaler, right? A good wholesaler finding distressed properties for rehabbers. That's us. So we want to put you in that position, and we want you to have a good reputation. We don't want you to just throw us junk all the time. So we want you to give us good deals that are completely analyzed and that we can make quick decisions for you and make offers immediately, okay? So you do it by area. Wage and job growth. Type that into Google, do the search. You're going to find some areas that the job growth is really, the unemployment's very low. The job growth is really growing. Industry's moving in, and wages are flat. So does that particular area or that particular metro or city have plans to increase wages? So that has to be looked at. Economic outlook. What does it look like in this city? Is it growing? Okay. Is it pro-business? Is it pro-tech? What area are you looking at? What's the economic outlook? And those are very important stats to us, because in a rehab, we're going to be in there, maybe 90 to 180 days. And those stats could really help us to see if we go in at a very low price that we pay for the property. By the time we finish it, we can have a bonus of maybe $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. So keep that in mind. Those stats are very important to us when we make our decisions. Know your neighborhoods, know the schools, know the ratings on the schools, know the transportation, very important, know the crime, and know the demographics. Now, I'm going to walk you through this today, okay? And I'm using an analysis from one of my favorite people who's working in the Atlanta markets for us, and she's bringing us deals almost daily. And so we're going to walk through that with her as well, okay? Now let's get down to Mark. Once you do your trend analysis, you understand what's going on in the area, and you bring that to our attention. And I'm going to show you analysis that we want you to copy. We want to do market comparables. Now we're interested in this. We're interested in searching the souls and the pendings together, starting at 1/4 mile, going out 90 days of activity. Now you could increase that. Our goal is we want to see at least 5 souls. Well, what if you haven't seen 5 souls, in 1/4 mile in 90 days? Well, increase, first of all, the radius that you're looking. I'd rather go to a 1/2 mile, 3/4 a mile. I don't want to go beyond 2 miles, because you change neighborhoods at that point, sometimes with even a mile. But start by changing the radius. And then the last thing you want to do is change the days. Go out to 90, 120, 180 days. Keep widening the search until you find at least 5 souls. Okay. That gives us an idea of the values. Now, also, we want you to look for comps that are not rehabbed to determine what our offer is going to be. A lot of investors go into these areas, these development areas, and they buy up properties and they board them all up, and, and they sit on them, and they want to make a fortune, in 90 days. It's not going to happen. So we're very careful to know what we're looking for and what we want to buy. So make sure the comps that you're looking at in the beginning are non-rehabbed properties. Now, we do want to look at what we call after repair value in a minute, but right now we want what are investors looking to buy these properties? Get 2 broker price opinions. I like to work with at least 1 or 2 brokers in the area, mainly 2, because one could be very, very busy. Maybe I can get a different opinion. Maybe one knows the area a little better. So, so all of that is very, very important, that we get broker price opinions. A lot of people, when you look at the comps that come out when you're looking at Trulio or Redfin or, or Zillow or all of those, and we're going to go through those today, you're going to find out that A broker can, one street over, two street over, can make a big difference in the price and the evaluation. So broker price opinion is very important. So okay, any questions at this point that we recommend at least 5 solds. If they're not there, do your best to go out to, maybe 6 months and pick up at least 3. But give us the solds, okay? And make sure that you have broker price opinions. Now, another thing on broker price opinions, when you start connecting with a broker, you're going to find that relationship is very valuable because they can bring you deals. So making the phone calls into the specialists in that area and creating that relationship is very valuable to you to bring you deals. It's very, very powerful. So you want to be friends with the brokers. All of us in our partnership are brokers, by the way. And I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but we use brokers because we know when we're out of area, okay, that's very important. Plus they have access to the MLS, which is a lot of information that you don't get on some of the public search engines or search sites, okay? Now, last thing, now that we know what the non-rehab homes are selling for in the area, we want to know what the rehab homes are going to sell for. So what's our ARV, after repair value? Very important. We start looking for properties, and you only can do that by reading the descriptions. Usually it takes the MLS. Okay, again, we can show it to you on Zillow and Trulio and Redfin and all these sites that I'm going to take you on. But very important that we understand the value of properties that have been updated, okay, or rehabbed. And it's always good to look at the pictures and find out what various investors that are in the areas are doing, because sometimes you can go overboard on the cost. And if you have cost overruns, that's not good either. So you want to make sure, what can I do? What's it going to cost me per square foot to rehab a property and bring it consistent with what other homes are selling in the neighborhood? Don't try to make it the most beautiful home in the world, okay? Okay, we want to look sharp and nice, no question about that. Cost of improvements. Now, this is an area, I know a lot of new people come in and they don't make the connections and make the, to their contractors. You need a good contractor. When you're going to be doing this, even as a wholesaler, you need these contractors because later you're going to probably grow into, a rehabber anyway. So the only difference between a wholesaler and a rehabber is a rehabber has the money and has the proof of funds, and most wholesalers don't. Some that do have proof of funds get more money because they control the contract and they sell the rights to that contract. So keep that in mind. So what's it cost to update a bathroom? You could do what I call a paintbrush. So in the area that you're working, ask the contractor, to sell a property at top dollar. Okay, what would it cost to update a bathroom? What would it cost at a medium home, okay, to update? And ask them what those numbers are, and they'll tell you it's $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is. What does it cost to update a kitchen in Palm Springs or update a kitchen in Atlanta, Georgia, in this particular neighborhood? What does it cost to update that kitchen? They'll tell you. A lot of times they just strip it out and they start all over and buy all the new appliances. They know exactly what it costs. They'll tell you. What about a cost to replace a roof on a 1,500 square foot home or a 2,000 square foot home? What if you have foundation issues? What does it cost to fix a foundation? Is it $25,000 in this area? Okay, or is it 100,000? What is it cost to fix a foundation? Contractors can tell you that. Okay, a cost to add electrical or plumbing. Anytime you're going to update your kitchen on an older home, I'm telling you, you're going to need a new panel, and those panels are like $1,500. And by the time you get through electrical, it could be $5,000, $6,000, even $10,000 on electrical. Plumbing, same thing. Heating, havoc, all of that. Know what the contractor could write this all up for you. And so you don't have to call them up every 5 minutes. You just look at a property and you know what it's going to take for a kitchen, a bathroom, a roof, foundation, electrical, plumbing, or cost per square foot to add a room addition. Now you're on your way. So after you understand, you do your trend analysis, you do what we call a broad brush cost analysis. Obviously, later we want to get a contractor in there, but that's during the time of our contingency period. So in the beginning, it's hard to run after a contractor, get them to look at the properties. So get some what I call intelligence by working with a realtor and a contractor to make our lives easier and to make your lives a lot easier, okay? Any questions at this point to understand what it takes to do a real good analysis about the area, working with a realtor and a contractor? Any questions at this point? you don't have any questions, I'm going to move on. We're going to talk about formulating an offer and computing your ROI for your investor. Okay. We want you to have a stellar reputation and bring us a lot of properties. Isn't that cool? All right. Well, that one's going to be put away now. So we're going to chop that one off. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and do another screen. I'm going to transition. Okay. Again, ask questions as we're running. And I'm going to bring up, this is the property in Atlanta, 409 Lanier Street. Okay, here we go. So I know you probably can't see it. It's very small. Okay. Now we use this analysis, and we have this available for you. All right. And I'm going to go over this analysis and why is this analysis so important? Now, I know I'm going to make this I hope I can make this a little bigger for you here. If you can see this, okay. Okay, I want to make it a little bigger. All right, I'll do the best I can. It's probably going to be hard on the screen. So turn your phone, if you're looking at a phone or a computer, sideways so you can see this. I apologize. I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger here. Okay, let's see. Does that do it? I think I can squeeze that in. Let me try one more up. And I think I could squeeze this a little. Yeah, let's try that. I hope that's a little better for you. You can see it. Okay. Now, this analysis, Oksana, who again works for us in the Atlanta area, determined that this after repair value and was $180,000. I'm going to go through her work in the summary in a minute to show you how she arrived at this. This is not just throwing numbers together. We use a 5% carrying cost or holding cost. That's the cost of money to do the project. Cost of closing, that's escrow and title. We use 2.5%. And then 5%, we work with realtors unless they make an offer or they do multiple properties, then it's maybe 4% we negotiate with them. But on the average, it's about 5%. Now, these cost of improvements, again, are broad brush because Oksana has a lot of experience with us and knows exactly what it takes to bring up a bathroom, an addition, a roof, and things like that. She's been working with contractors. Okay, so she's probably pretty sharp at this right now. And we like to put in about a 15% rehab profit at this point. So this is our selling cost here, okay? Selling cost means basically this is what we would sell a property for, and this is what it would cost. And then when we, okay, so you got two types of escrows. When you buy the property, when you sell the property. So just keep that in mind. So let's look at your closing cost here on the other side. And then an assignment fee, okay, what we pay, okay. In her case, we do pay a property management fee, not property management, but project management fee. So that's an, addition over the $5,000 normal advanced assignment fee, okay. All right. Okay, now, so the allowable offer here is $57,000. As we do the comp work, you're going to find out that the comp on that property was worth about $30,000 to $35,000, the value of it. And here's our cost at $95,000. So this is basically our projected profit here of $49,000 on this particular deal. Now, what is it going to take us? Well, I take the offer price and the cost, and I add a 10% contingency to it, and these are the funds that are required. So I can change this to 1 point or 2 points, or 8% or 10%, whatever it happens to be. And then I compare it to up here to make sure that we have the right funds. Now I do this for the investors so they get a chance to kind of see what their ROI is going to be, annualized rate ROI. Okay, you'll have to look at the annual rate. That's why it's defined that way. So in 4 months, they'll make 18% on their money, or 6 months, 12%. Some of them require a 1 point after 6 months. In addition to that, that's all added in here after 8 months, maybe 11 months. So that's how we do it. And then we compare it to the money that's up here. Now, if I was to change this as an example, let's say the low comp was 165, would it be a good deal? Everything is calculated for you at that point. So as you can see, oh, I made a big mistake there. Okay. 165. That's a little bit too much money. Now you can see we're still going to make profit if this sells at 165. So I like to look at the low range and the high range. Well, what if this thing, okay, would only sell for 145 and we really got burned, okay? Would we still, seems like we'd come out ahead on this one if we got it for what, 35. But what if we, you can see here the allowable offer at that low price, ARV, allowable offer would be about 32,000. So we got to be very careful here that we meet that criteria when we make our offer. Now, this is the offer we want to be in that range. So obviously, I wouldn't do anything in this one, except if this one is like about 170,000. So let's just look at that. Okay. Now, if we get the upside on the trends, another 10-15% on the trends, that would be cool. Or another $5,000, $10,000. It could be lower than that, the percentages, but that would be cool. So you can see here that 49,000 would be an allowable offer. So let's go down here. We put 50,000 in and see if we can make money here if that offer. And I'm going to offer them what the comps say, but I would still take this project at 18% return on my money at a $50,000. So I hope you see that using this kind of like a formula, this analysis here kind of helps us to see. Again, it's a broad brush way of looking at it. It's a fast way, so we can write the contract, get it off the market, and do our analytical work. And we're usually doing pretty good with these analysis. And then later, we really do all the detail analysis here on the deal analysis, okay, that we use, okay? So I just want to get that for you. Want to look at that for a minute here, okay? Yes, I want to say that. I'm going to take that off for a minute, okay? Okay, hold on. Do not. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's look at what how all this is put together, all these trends, and this is put together in a summary. And we're going to look at our analysis here. Okay. Hold on just a minute here. I think I got to bring my word back up here a minute here. Excuse me, just a minute here. Hold on just a minute. I'll bring it up here in a minute. Okay, did I? Okay, hold on. Trends. Okay, I got to get that doc back up here. Okay, oh, there we go. Okay. So let me go here a minute here. Let me bring this back up. And let's see if that trends. Okay, hold on just a minute. I wanted you to see this analysis, so I got to bring this back up here a minute here. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Trends. It should come up now. Yes, I got it. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Should be coming up here in just a minute. Okay, a little bit of delay. Okay. All right, hold on. There we go. Okay. Now, again, I want you guys to make sure that you're asking your questions. Okay, so we can make sure that you guys are all taken care of. Now, this is a CMA that I worked with Oksana to put together for us. So you can see here. Now, I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. It's probably really big here, but hope you can see it on your, okay, it's small print, but I want to make it a little bigger here, okay? Now, this is for the property that we're looking at, and this is the zip code that we're looking at, Grove Park, okay, Lanier Street in Northwest Atlanta. Now, let's see what she says. In this zip code, northwest from downtown Atlanta, particularly on Lanier Street, is situated in the neighborhood known as Grove Park. 282 Anderson Avenue is located in a different zip code. That's a property that we're actually doing right now, remodeling, 30314. But it's in close proximity, by the way. And the district name is Dixie Hills. But 1 mile away from these houses, I'll show you below, from public sources, I have found out that for the past 6 months, Atlantic Capital, a bank, is funding financial literacy programs to teach residents how to improve their credit scores, which could help them increase their buying capability. Very astute that she caught that. Now, Grove Park Foundation will begin reviving Donald Lee, Hollowell Parkway, the area's commercial corridor. Crews will demolish the shattered Carter G. Woodson Elementary School. That's interesting to know because the schools have very low ratings. To conduct the anchor of the revitalization, Woodson Park Academy, a $40 million neighborhood school paid by the Atlantic Public Schools and Foundation serving pre-K through the 8th grade. Now, if they're spending $40 million on building a new school there, I'm kind of not going to worry about the school okay, what the ratings are in the schools at this point, because I had this insight knowledge. Now, the school-based health center, what they call KIP, which is already operates 9 charter schools in the city, will staff and manage the academy, which will be open in 2020. Unlike charters, it will be open to all the students living in the area. Down the street, okay, the Edison Group has purchased Shutter Grove Theater at Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway and plans to revive the circa 1940 cinema with art programs. So that it really is very encouraging. Nearby, the foundation controls roughly 9 acres where Grove Park Renewal, a community-based affordable housing developer, will build a mixed-income residential development, 2/3 of which will be reserved by people making less than $35,000. So you understand that when you look at the map here, this area is very proximity to also Georgia Institute of Technology. It's one of the top-rated colleges, I don't know if you know that, in the United States. So, and then you have really a good transit coming in here. So this is kind of what we call a redevelopment or a transitional neighborhood. In accordance with the Atlanta Development Plan, areas around West Side Reservoir Park are approved for upcoming residential building, meaning increasing demand for affordable housing for those who will work up to the upcoming businesses. I posted a link in the development plan. Okay, so she gives me that development plan so I can look at it. So these are all good positive things, saying that neighborhood's going to be changing. They're building a $40 million school. So Grove Park could be a gold mine for us because of what's happening. Only 5 miles from Georgia Tech. Okay, one of the top 10 universities in the United States. 30,000 students graduate Georgia Tech. Is that crazy? Short distance from Institute opens Grove Park real estate market. Real estate investors who buy and hold homes for rent, as well as those who want to live closer to their work. Currently, Georgia Tech counts more than 15,000 employees. All right, so I'm going to go on and show you some other things here. Here's your belt line. Your transit right here runs right through where we're talking about. So anybody can walk 5 minutes to their Atlanta subway. I've been to Atlanta. The subways are very, very powerful. Now, again, we're going to be changing this out, these 2 schools out where these low grades are happening. You also have charter schools in the area, which have higher ratings here. So she's done a good job. The crime is low crime relative to the rest of Fulton County. I like hearing that. Let's look at demographics. 32 is the population median age. 50% of the population are married. 26 of the population. Oh, I'm sorry about that. 26 of the population. Okay. Let me turn it off. Have a college degree. 43% of the population own their own homes. 1968, the median year of the home construction. More than 75% of the population that live in multi-unit buildings. So this is a mixture of multi-units as well as single-family properties. Here's your median rent. So she goes on and does all this trend analysis for us to look at what's happening in that zip code. So you can see how it dipped in January, February it's going, but you can see the upward trend on sales prices, short dips up, and then it's moving here in August. So this looks pretty good. Now, it also shows a decline in the sales. Why? That probably means lack of inventory. And then we're looking at, okay, the properties that 3 months prior, basically, okay, that have sold 1 year prior, 5 years prior, so you can get an idea of the values and the trends here and how they have grown. Okay, so you look at properties 5 years ago, it's 138. You look at properties through here, it's up to 232, just to give you an idea, okay? So you can see the trends are upward for price increases, which is really in our favor as an investor. Okay, I'm not worried about rents at this point. So we're going to move on. I just want you to see that. Now let's look at properties sold after renovation. And remember, we have a 1,400 square foot property. It's actually 1,350. It's a 3.2. So let's kind of look in our area and see what price per square foot is going for in these properties here. You can see here a 1597 square foot. Sold for 205, to give you an idea, 128. You come down here, another 3.2. That's a little smaller. It's a little smaller. I would think this is 1,500. But here you got one that's sold kind of low. So I want to look at that one here on Andrew Street, why that sold a little bit low, and it's a newer home. So maybe that wasn't refurbished or rehabbed. So you don't know that. Okay, she says after renovations, but you really don't know that. So what are the good comps here? I would say this is a good comp on Donald Lee, okay, because that's very close to where we are. And I would say another one I would look at would probably be something, okay, somewhere, I would say these first two comps is what I would look at here, okay? So you tell me what you think. Or do you think, what comps would you be looking at here to get the idea? By the way, it's about a 7,000 square foot lot, okay? All right. So it does give us an average of 135. I think I would probably do more like 125. Okay, if I would be looking at the low side, maybe 120 to about 125 is what I'd be looking at. Okay, these are active sales after the renovation or live ready condition sales. So again, you have some that you got to throw that out here, the high. You always throw out the high, throw out the low, and kind of get the medium here. So you can see 1,400 square feet. Okay, this is a comp that sold. Okay, but it was built in 2005. Now our home was built, I think, in 1935, 1950 in here. So I would not use that comp. Would not use that right here. It looks good. So here's a 3.2 that's pretty close to where we are. That's a good comp. Again, it's on the high side. So that's how you look at it. You throw out the high, you throw out the low, and you find comparables as close as you can possibly get. And as we go through the analysis, again, this is a broad brush. I'm going to show you that we click on the pictures. We actually use Google Maps to look at the properties in those particular areas. Now, here's that before renovation. This gives you an idea of what the cost was going out for per square foot before renovations. Okay, you can see a couple of these properties down here, 35, 40. That's what we feel our property's worth. These are a little higher. Okay, so you get an idea of before and after renovations. That's where we want to go. This particular guy wants a $150,000 three-house package. This is the floor plan that we're looking at, that particular property. Okay, it shows 1,350 square feet, 3.2. Okay, so that's basically, we don't have to move any walls out. We might have to change a little bit of the design of the property inside, but it looks like it's a pretty easy rehab. You come down here, this is too small for us. We'd have to add square footage. You can see the lot size here that we have room to move out to the right direction here to add square footage. We're looking at about 400 or 500 square feet. So keep that in mind, okay, when you're looking at that. All right, so we got a pretty good feel for what these values are at this point and what these prices are. And then here's our analysis. See, she did all three of them. She did the analysis for us, and she submitted that with her trends, okay, in the area, also with her comp work. All of that has been provided to us. Okay, so it looks like all three of these projects could make us some money at this point. Again, it's enough for us to say, hey, are we going to make an offer or not? And the answer would probably be, what do you think? Do you think we should make an offer on these three properties? Okay, or let's do a little more analytical work here. So let me take you and show you the type of work that we do and the websites that we use to do it, just to give you an idea of how to pull these together. Okay, all right. So any questions at this point, please? Let's take a break here for questions. If you have any questions, Frank is on board to answer them. Just put them in the chat box. We'll be glad to answer them for you. But I hope that you're learning to give you an idea of what we expect as investors when you turn something over to us, not just an address. Why do we teach you this? Why do we go through such analysis work? Here's why. Because we want you to learn, not just stay at being what I call an advanced bird dog, but go through wholesaling, go right up the ladder to fix and flips, and then start investing in your real estate career by getting rental properties and discounted. Let's bring up, okay, realtor.com. Okay, hold on a minute now. See the screen pop up in a minute. Okay, good. You'll see it. Hold on. It'll come up in a minute. Now I got all this set for you so that you can see it. See? Okay. I want to show you what the first thing that we do is. All right. That's the first thing we do. Hold on, it'll come up. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna flip over here. I'm gonna show you something. The first thing we do is we Google that address. It'll come up in a minute. Hold on. Okay, it's just a little bit of delay here. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Okay. You're not quite there. It's unreal. Now you're there. Okay. Now we're gonna Google this. I want you to see this live because why? Zillow comes up, Realtor.com comes up, Trulia comes up, okay, Redfin comes up, all of them come up. Now, why do we want to do that? Because all the information that comes into these are different. They're supposed to be like the same sources, right? But they're all different. And each one of these presents a little bit different. I'm going to take you right over to, let's see if I can find Trulia first, okay? If I could bring you over to Trulia, just hold on just a minute. That's Realtor.com. I'm going to bring you over to Trulia. I'm pretty sure I got that one there. Let's see what I got here. Trulia. Now, let me show you. Trulia's going to pop up in a minute here. Okay. Now let me show you. Trulia says 35,000. I'll wait for this to pop up for you. And I'm going to show you why I use Trulia. So just wait a second here. There's a little bit of delay. There you go. Okay. Now, first of all, you got the picture there. I'm not going to click on that. Okay. But right here in Trulia, what I like is you can go to map view. Okay. You can go to a street view. You can go to the schools, crime, commute. It has everything that you need, including the demographics. Now, let me just take you into the demographics on Trulia and why I like this one. Let's just click on the demographics, okay? You can start here. You can see the median age is 35. This is where Oksana got her information, okay? You can see that 50% of the population is married. You could see how many people are single. They even tell you that 80% are female and 60% are less than male. So, you guys, this must be a gold mine for you guys down there. Okay, so college, 26% of the population have college degrees. It's a pretty good area. Now, how many percent is homeowners? That's important to us. 38% of the population own homes. So that means it's got a huge rental market depending on what the rent to price ratios are. But it shows you, okay, that basically this is almost more rent. I mean, it's more renters than owners on here. Okay. So that gives you the demographics. Okay. When did it start the construction? 1966 was the year that all this construction started, basically. So that's where kind of like when it started retrending. Okay. When did people start moving in? 204 was the move where people started really buying into this thing and started growing from there. Okay. Okay. It does have multi-units on it. Okay, so it gives you kind of like an idea that in that particular area, they got a lot of multi-units here too. So it's a mixed area of single-family homes and multi-units. Now, again, in one place, you learned a lot about the demographics of that area. And also Googling your trends, you know pretty much what you're buying into. Okay, here's your map on the property, right? So we're not doing any comp work at this point. We're just kind of showing you what's there for you on these different sites so you can start looking at. Now, let's just go ahead. You can read the description here. Great investment opportunity, charming ranch home, 3-bedroom, 1-bath. The home features enclosed front porch. We want to make it a 2-bath. Okay, and it's minutes from downtown Atlanta. Attractive sites are Martha, Westlake Station, Atlanta Beltline, World Congress Center, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Coca-Cola headquarters, Georgia Tech campus, and other sites. So really, you've got a very good area here. Here's your listing information, right? You can always see more by clicking on here. Tells you more about it, square footage of the home, number of rooms. Okay, then look at the price history here. Now, why is this property since, when you look at this, okay, it gets sold, and then it's pending, it gets sold, it's out. It seems like it's going in and out, in and out, in and out. So obviously there's some concerns. Oh my gosh, at one point it was listed for $225. Oh my gosh. Anyway, there are concerns about why this property goes in and out of escrow. So we have to really look a little closer to find out what's going on there. So this is a clue that something may not be right here. Okay. Okay. Similar homes that you may want to look at, okay, in the area come up. This gives you an idea of the values. See, these are all boarded up, abandoned homes, most of them. So you can see that these are kind of like rehab homes. I mean, homes that are good for rehabbing, okay? All right, so that's kind of like what Trulia gives you. I just want to give you an idea there. Okay, in the immediate area, you know you're working in Grove Park. You've got really a good feel for the area, the demographics. Okay, the average listing price is $274. Medium sales price is $305. That's encouraging, right? You know you got upward trends on housing there. So a lot of good stuff to look at and prices that you can learn from looking at these sites, okay? So that's your Trulia site. Now let's go over here and let's go to Redfin, okay? Here's Redfin. I'll wait for this to catch up, okay? Redfin says its estimate of 30,827 on the market for 168 days. Now, you obviously want to do your Google Maps, and I'm not going to click on this and search because what's next to these homes? Are they other boarded up homes? This street has a lot of boarded up properties because it's what? It's in transition. A lot of investors bought them a year or 2 years ago, and they held them, and that's why they haven't released them yet. So as they start releasing them, these homes will become valuable to us. And we could make some pretty nice money over the next 1 or 2 years here by being part of that. Okay. So anyway, this is Redfin. Okay. Redfin, I like this because look at the details of the property here. It tells you everything. So each one of these sort of leans, you know, like we just went through Trulia, which gives us all the trends. This one gets more information about the properties. Okay, very important here, okay? And also gives you the schools, heating and cooling, what type. So you've got all the information about the property here, the tax ID number, if you're looking for that. It's right here. Okay, so you got your tax lot details, and then it also gives you the lot dimensions, 150 by 46, 150. So that tells you whether you're going to build sideways or you're going to build in back or in front. So it gives you an idea. You got to be careful when you're looking at expanding properties as to where you can build, okay? Because you need to know what the setbacks are within the city. You have to call the planning department, or your contractor will tell you what they are. So you have to know. You just can't say I'm going to add 400 square feet. You're going to add it in the back, the side. Where you're going to add it, and well, okay, and what are the setbacks? So you need to know that, okay? So again, here's some other great information. You got your estimates here. If you click on these are other homes that they show you that are similar in price. So you know these are other good targeted homes that you can go pick up and see if they're on the market to pick them up for 25, 35,000, because you know that neighborhood's going to be, you know, in the 170 to about 180. So again, these are other rehab probably owned by investors, but it gives you another, you know, another area that you can find these properties and keep them in your inventory, and then, you know, talk to the realtors and find out. Okay, again, more school ratings here. So again, all of these sites really give you a lot of information. Now, I like this here because this gives you the Northwest Atlanta area completely. See that map there? It crosses over. And then sort of like, you know, Grove Park, okay, Northwest, big difference here, Northwest Atlanta. Look at this. This gives you an idea of the values, medium values that are going there, 231.5, and on a growth area. So I'm kind of excited that this could be a pretty good property, okay? So we need to find some other comps that are going to support that. Here's a comp that supports it. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I would definitely be checking that comp out, okay? All right, so I think you got an idea on the different types. Now, the one I wanted to, another one I want to take you to, I didn't bring it up, unfortunately, is, that's Trulia, where we talked to Trulia. I want to bring up Zillow. Oh, there we go, Zillow. Okay, now, Zillow gives you a lot of information, because what I like about Zillow is that you can get your map and you can just click on these properties and it loads them for you. And then you can see basically what they look like. And then you can come down here and look at their estimates of value. So Zillow, from comping the properties out, I think is one of the best ones there. If you want to pay for it, I would recommend Realty Track and Property Radar. Okay, especially if you're going after rehabs. I mean, if you're going after, I'm sorry, pre-foreclosures, because they give you the loan balances and the arrears, and also the auction dates for the trustee sales. Okay, so it gives you an idea here that Zillow gives you a lot of value information. You can also do some comp work on this, but I just want to give you kind of an idea of why you want to look at all these sites to get an aggregate, and you're going to find that some of them will bring up properties and others won't bring up those properties. So you're going to have a really good feel by going through these sites. And then the last one I say for you is realtor.com right here, okay? And again, realtor.com is good for doing some comp work, and it has good search programs on it for you to do that. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of idea here. What's this? Nearby schools, okay? Neighborhood, there you go, medium cells, okay? Price per square foot. Again, I'm going to be conservative, 125. Here's your Northwest Atlanta, in town south. So you can see the median prices here. So this is all good stuff that you can get that information. And also, if you're looking for an agent in these areas, you just click on that and you can get contact with the agents. It comes up. 70 homes for rent. You see a lot of homes in the market for rent up here. 399 homes for sale. So, I mean, it really gives you a really great view. Also, it gives you great trend information. Look at this. Here's your market trends. Look at this. See, I like these trends, see? Okay, so back here, let's look at when it started. Back here in 2015, it was at 125. Now over 2018, it's up 179. So that's got a pretty good trend to it, okay, in that particular area. So that's the 3-year trend. Let's look at the 2-year trend. Okay, it still has a little bit here. Let's look at the last 1-year trend. So 1-year trend, it started 129 and it's up to 179. So $50,000 in 1 year is not bad, folks. Okay, so just think about that. If you've got a 4-month rehab, or a 3-month, 4-month, or 5-month rehab, and you start out down here, and it's growing, it's increased by $50,000, and maybe 6 months it increases $25,000. Remember, I told you these trends are important because when you're doing your rehab, when you're doing your pricing, you got to understand that those trends, you don't count on them, but those can be bonuses for you. That means really a lot. Okay, that's going to wrap it up. So this also gives you your area that you're looking at, okay? So you've got all of this. It also gives you comps, other homes for sales that you can look and compare comps to. And you can also do searches on realtor.com. I don't want to jump into the searches right now, but you can do searches on it, okay? And find properties. You just type in the addresses here. This one happens to be 409. Let's say 409. And we're going to do Lanier Street. Okay, just to give you an idea. Here it is right here. So you do that search on that. Okay. And that'll bring it up. Okay. Okay, that brings it up. And then you can also do a search criteria on realtor.com. And I don't have time to go into all of that. I can be here all day for you guys. So I'm going to kind of back off of this. And by doing your searches and finding out what your solds, listed, and all of those are, it gives you a pretty good idea of what your competition is and what your price is in on this. So I hope you enjoyed this information. Okay, so I'm going to come back on. Okay, so is there any questions that you guys may have, okay, on this? I hope I didn't knock out my webinar here, which I probably did. Okay, let me get back in here. Oh, here I am. Okay. All right. So any questions at this point that you guys might have? I want to see. I don't see any questions coming up, but if you do, okay. So give me a raise of hand. How many of you guys like the webinar so far? What we did to help you guys out, to show you what we needed. Did this help you? Okay. Good. Good. All right. We want to make sure that you guys have the information that you need. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. Again, you want to make sure that you do the analytical work that you need so you can, honestly, that you can give us the right information, saves us a lot of time. Yeah. Okay. And by the way, if you just got on the computer and you can watch you will be mailed the recording of this by registering it. So you want to make sure that you watch it, because a lot of great information. Refer to it. Keep the link. You can always go back to it and refer to it. And that way you guys have what you need, to refer to and to help others that get on this, as well. All right, here we go. Jennifer, let me see. How do you estimate repairs before making an offer and getting a contractor in there? Okay. All right, Jennifer, let me come on here for a minute here. I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. And then let's see if we got, let me see if we can get Frank to respond to that as well. Frank, that's a great question, man. You want to type in the box here what you think would be the right answer for Jennifer, how to estimate repairs before making an offer and getting a contractor, to show up at the property. For some reason, answer that. Let's see if he'll type something for you here, because I think that's a really good one. Where's Frank? I should have made him a co on the webinar. It'd probably be a lot easier. What we do there is I work with a contractor, and I get the contractor referrals from the realtor, because the realtors have to work with these guys all the time. And once they refer them or bill them online, but most of the time the realtor's giving the referrals to the contractors, and then they know the contractor, so that's easier because the contractors are very, very busy. But when the realtors refer them, they always seem to return the calls, and they're easier to work with. So that's why I go through the realtors to find the contractors. And then I sit down with the contractors in that area, and I ask them the questions about what does it cost for a kitchen or a bathroom or, or rehab, or an expansion or a roof, or redo the electrical or the plumbing. And I get a real good idea from the contractor at that point. Now, I may have to interview 2 or 3 contractors because they could be busy, but there's times when they're not busy. So I want to build the relationships now that you need. We're just very fortunate that we, that we have a really great contractor. Okay. Well, I hope you guys, any other questions that you might have? And we do get contractor bids line item by line item. I go through it line item by line item. We get the contractor's bids. So again, to make the offer, I want to paint a broad brush. What are the trends? What are the costs? How much, what's our expected ROI? I want to make a broad brush. I want to write the contract, and then I get deeper into the contingencies. But if you get 3, 4, 5 deals coming at you daily, sometimes we do, and you can't handle them, all at once, then, you sit on it for 2 or 3 days, then you're losing competition. The investors will eat them up on you really, really quick. So you want to get them off the market quick, take your time to analyze them, but you got a pretty good idea. I don't think we've ever written a contract that we really intentionally didn't close unless we were misled by, when that just happened to us, where we had an appraiser out there and we were misled by a property that said that it was 1,500 square feet. The appraiser got through as 1,100 square feet. And sometimes people are real crooked. You got to be careful here. Guy put it back on the market for 1,500 square feet and up the price. What a jerk. Okay, that happens. Okay. Here's Frank. Realtors are a good source. Yeah, thanks. He confirmed that. Some contractors on your team use the rehab calculator in iOS as well. Yeah, okay. We've got other software that we can introduce you to. I will do webinars on that. I just don't have time today, but we do have what we call an iOS program that has a rehabber in there, and it's tied to Home Depot. So we get up to date every day, up to date prices on everything when we really nail it down that detail. But I like the contractors to come back and give us the bids in their areas, and then go line item by line item with that. We've actually have a contractor that really watches our cost, shaves prices for us, gives us options that are going to help us. One time she said, hey, you can go all electrical and I can save you a lot of money because very few people are using gas in this area. So, but if you go ahead and put a gas system in here, it's going to cost you a lot more money. I don't know what she saved us, but it's quite a bit of money. And the contractors really do that. Okay, Tam, where's my buddy Frank? How do you locate property for investment? That's going to be a whole other analysis, Tim. I will tell you, you can do probate, you can do pre-foreclosures, you can actually farm areas. There's 3 methods right there. And if you guys like the webinar, and you would like me to do more webinars to answer that question for Tam, like Frank and I can do these webinars and get on here and help you guys out, why, let us know. So how many guys would like to have another webinar where we can show you how to find the deals? Okay, and information like that. Would that be pretty cool? So if you guys, let me give you some time here. If you guys would like to do that, let me know. Robin, how can I get the spreadsheet? Well, I'll give it to you. Okay, so just email me the spreadsheet. Just email me at Gary30minute-millionaire.com. Gary, the number 30minute-millionaire.com. Here, I'll write it in here, and then I will get you that spreadsheet if you want it, okay? Gary, this is my company email.com. If you do that, I'll put it in the chat section. Okay, let me see any other questions. I want to make sure all the questions are answered. Okay, yeah. Okay, you guys said yes. You want some more of these webinars. Okay, MR says yes. We're looking at some properties for. Okay, give rough bids knowing what kitchens and bathrooms and rough roofs cost, but you really need a contractor with the foundation and settlement issues. Exactly. Denise is right there. Contractors will give you those ratios or those costs, just to help you get these bids. But then if you get into foundation issues, man, you really have to bring in your contractors to examine that and write up contracts and give you bids on that. Okay, anything else that we missed? Okay, we will teach you how to locate properties. We'll continue on that. Awesome, super helpful. Thanks, Samuel. What exactly are we asking with a broker price opinion? Is that, Kate, if that's what you're referring to? Broker price opinion is we're asking the realtor, what is the cost in its current condition on the market right now, and what can they sell it for if we really put in, really knock it out of the park and put in the granite countertops and nice kitchen and appliances, what can they sell it for? So that's the reason. The realtors pretty much know, sometimes better than even appraisers know, okay, if they're working that area. So that's a good way to get that done. Okay, so Robin spreadsheet. Kim loved it. Very helpful. Thanks. You're welcome, Kim. Anya, yes, she's good. Okay, we got that answered. Okay, I think you guys liked it. I think that's it. I think we got you guys covered. So anyway, I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yes, we're going to put some more of these together for you, and we'll send them out to you, and you will get this and you can share it. Okay, it's going to be a public webinar so people can share it. So thank you guys very much. Have a good rest of the week. God bless you all, and thank you for joining me. Bye-bye now.